r/AskReddit by Reddit and chill. What is a true piece of advice that no one wants to hear? You can't afford that. You can't afford that. Followed closely by you don't need it or you'll regret buying it. Just say no. Maybe it will make you / someone else uncomfortable for a sec. But you have the right to say no to people. There are a lot of stories on Reddit about people forsaking entire friendships and sections of their lives rather than have an honest yet awkward 2-minute conversation. There will be some people who just will not like you. There's nothing you can do about it. Don't take it personally and move on. And there are some people who will just rub you the wrong way. This doesn't mean either you or them is a bad person. You just don't have compatible personality types. It may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility. The joy of work. It's not your fault it happened. It's your responsibility to make sure it doesn't happen again. You don't have the authority to implement any changes to stop it happening. If someone is making you miserable, you need to tell them. If they don't care, you need to cut them out of your life. Life's too short to let people treat you badly. Edit. To the folks in the comments. It's supposed to be what you don't want to hear. The fact that this upsets you is my point. I did this months ago and felt too guilty. I just didn't enjoy that person's company anymore. But the relief that followed was priceless. You can't help people who don't want to be helped. This goes for friends, family, relationships, yourself. I want to edit for clarification. There is a big difference between giving someone a dose of Narcan to stop a heroin overdose and helping them end their addiction. The latter they have to want to do. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change. I wish I'd learned this sooner. Stubbornly trying to save someone who will not be saved can do real damage to you. Even if they claim to want to be saved, they don't always do. Being able to purchase something and being able to afford something are two totally different concepts. The former does not imply the latter. What do you mean? If I spread my car payments over 120 months, I can afford that new BMW X5. Sarcasm obviously. Paying now is almost always cheaper than paying later. Oh, this is huge. If you would be fine financially putting down 33% on a car instead of 30% even. Every little bit helps save you money down the road. Good things won't come to you just because you want them or feel you deserve them. Getting what you want in life is a combination of hard work, intelligent choices, social awareness, natural talent, and blind goddamn luck. There is no deserve. Nothing is keeping score. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and realize you're the problem. If everyone has the same issue with you, then it's probably just you and you should stop blaming everyone else. Accepting that you're the problem doesn't change much. The hard part is fixing the problem. Just because they are family doesn't mean they deserve to be in your life. Family members most commonly the ones to be abusive to you. People don't know how to handle it because they're always taught that since their abusers are family they should be forgiven. Which really damages their perception of what they think is abusive. You spend too much time on Reddit. I will not tolerate such slander. Everyone thinks they want the truth. But most people want the truth to fit their worldview. Be honest. But know that it has a price. Rather than a price, I would say it has consequences. And those consequences can be both good and bad. Who you are on the inside means jack shit if that person is not reflected in your actions. Your actions are all that matters to the world and everyone around you, and your intentions are worthless if they don't lead to you performing said actions. Does not matter in what facet of life. This is always true. You are what you do. It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. Batman Begins. Better to be single than with the wrong person. Hot take. If you both can communicate and keep things the right level of casual, you can be with the wrong person and just enjoy your time together till it's time to part ways. Sometimes it's good to spend time with other people and both grow from it. Even though you know neither of you are in it for the long run. If they are the kind of wrong that's truly terrible or abusive, or it's past time to part, yes, it's better to be single. But if you are both fine with wasting time, why not? You know one of the reasons why 50 Shades of Grey became a worldwide bestseller while the book you've been toiling over for the better part of a decade is destined to die in obscurity? It's because E.L. James actually finished the ducking thing. No one wants to read the first third of a novel, no matter how good it might be. Suck it up and finish your damn projects. Harsh but so very, very true. Stop spending your money with bullshit. I know, but depressive mania is a beach and Amazon is so easy. If you have bad blood with many people and have drama constantly, you need to sit down and think you're probably the problem. My ex-best friends were like this. I never realized that most people aren't in drama like that all the time, and they were definitely the problem. She doesn't love you. Time to move on. I just got out of a somewhat bad relationship. Whenever I told my ex I love you, he replied, "Thank you, Dart." Sometimes when we fought, he asked me why we were still together. I answered, "Because I love you." He always told me that's not enough. I thought he meant that love was not enough to build a relationship, that we needed actions. After we finally split up, I understood. He was saying my love wasn't enough because he didn't love me. So, yeah. I wish I had this advice before. Most people don't really care about your feelings. Or you at all, really. Only how you make them feel. If you just got off your ass and did it already, it would already be done. Shitty people do not change unless there's something deeply and profoundly in it for them. And even then, they still may decide that being shitty is more valuable. This is especially true of abusive partners. YTF would they stop abusing you when abusing you gets them everything they want? Edit. Also, being smart is not all it takes to succeed in the world, and in fact I would say it's a tiny fraction of what you need. Being smart is not all it takes to succeed in the world, and in fact I would say it's a tiny fraction of what you need. This is what ducked me so much growing up. I grew up thinking my intelligence making school easy would mean life would be just as easy after graduating. You cannot make someone love you. I like that quote that floats around on Reddit every once in a while from a teacher to their students. All of you have a little bit of "I want to save the world" in them. That's why you're here in college. I want you to know that in your entire life it's okay if you only save one person. And it's okay if that person is you. You will fail. You will fail a lot. I cannot stress this enough. Also, failing is okay and you should enjoy it. Stop giving people who cheated on you a second chance. It may be worth it if the person is your partner for like 8 years, but if you have been together for 4 months and they cheated? Speaking from experience here. Don't give them a second chance no matter how long you've been together. If they cheat, they're okay with losing you. Looks matter in a relationship. It sucks to hear. Especially because media keeps trying to tell us that looks don't matter, or at least guys anyway. Women are kind of out of luck there for the most part, and I'm sorry for that. But it's the truth. I'm not saying looks are the end all be all of a relationship. They aren't. Whether or not your personalities are compatible is almost always going to be the deciding factor in any successful relationship. But the simple fact of the matter is that it's an incredibly rare thing to be in a romantic relationship with someone that you don't find at least somewhat physically attractive. Yes, it sucks. But better to hear it early and accept it than to lie to yourself and deal with that reality later in life. I agree. Being attractive opens many doors, let's be honest. Nobody wants to listen to your podcast. I work in marketing and every month somebody from another department comes to us with the idea to start a podcast. Some of them actually did. 0 have been remotely successful. They seem to miss the part where you have to create entertaining content. Your podcast has to be so good that people want to listen to it more than they want to watch The Office or something. If you have to resort to asking questions about the fundamental nature, livelihood, or longevity of your romantic relationship on the internet, the chances are it's unhealthy and not going to last. It's crazy how people ask random strangers about if they should leave or change something in a relationship when they may only mention one part of it. The people you are asking have no clue the history between you two and up to that point, so you are going to get generic shitty advice like break up. If you are unable to sit down with your partner in a relationship after being together for a reasonable amount of time and discuss topic pertaining to the relationship, then it may not be meant to last. Just shut up. There's a time where you need to just keep your mouth shut before problems arise and people don't want to hear it. Not every girl that talks to you wants to date you. Especially if it's part of her job to be nice to you. For girls, dating bad boys is not a good idea. It's a polite word for shitty relationship. For boys, most girls do like nice guys. But maybe you're not as nice as you think. I'll provide you with a song quote. Where you invest your love, you invest your life. Because here's something else that's weird but true. In the day-to-day trenches of adult life, there is actually no such thing as atheism. There is no such thing as not worshipping. Everybody worships. The only choice we get is what to worship. And the compelling reason for maybe choosing some sort of god or spiritual type thing to worship, be it JC or Allah, be it YHWH or the Wiccan Mother Goddess, or the Four Noble Truths, or some inviolable set of ethical principles, is that pretty much anything else you worship will eat you alive. If you worship money and things, if they are where you tap real meaning in life, then you will never have enough. Never feel you have enough. It's the truth. Worship your body and beauty and sexual allure and you will always feel ugly. And when time and age start showing, you will die a million deaths before they finally grieve you. On one level, we all know this stuff already. It's been codified as myths, proverbs, cliches, epigrams, parables. The skeleton of every great story. The whole trick is keeping the truth up front in daily consciousness. Don't ignore your gut. Those red flags are there for a reason. Yeah. At my last colonoscopy, my doctor had to take me aside and tell me to stop eating them. Stop obsessing about that person. They are clearly not that into you. My friend is obsessed with a guy who she barely knows. He just says hi to her at church. She saw him at a concert making out with his girlfriend and she lost it. Couldn't function for days. She said how he's a total piece of shit. How he used her, etc. He never gave her any signals. Doesn't even know her name. She just made up a story in her head. 3 years later she's still obsessing about her lost love and sometimes says he's totally into me. He was so nervous when saying hi today. He wants me. Your friends need psychiatric therapy. Stop complaining about being overweight and start doing something about it. Edit. This is for the lazy people that complain and do nothing. Not towards anyone with a condition. Don't get booty tickled. Stop complaining about being overweight and start doing something about it. Think this applies to a lot of situations. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you are. Know your worth. You shouldn't waste your time on someone who doesn't deserve you. I know my worth. And it's ducking zero mayo. If you want to feel like you're not dying when you walk upstairs or even just getting up, toss those cigarettes and move more. Get your shit together first before doing anything else or else you'll always be in a hole. Get your priorities straight before doing that. If the same bad thing keeps happening to you, it's time to accept you might be the problem. No one has that bad of luck. I saw a quote the other day that rings true. If you meet an a-hole in the morning, you probably just met an a-hole. If you meet a-holes all day, you're probably the a-hole. You're not hungry. You're just bored, tired, sad, angry, happy, nervous, psychotic, procrastinating, etc. Majority of parenting advice. Feed your baby. Figure out a way to become financially secure first. Then pursue what you love to do. File your tax returns. And pay your damn taxes. Getting flagged by the state government is worse than any credit card company, university or hospital. Just because you've always done it that way doesn't mean it's correct or applicable now. Times change. Things change. You must continue to change to stay with the times. Your love can't change people. They were like that before you knew them and they will continue to be that way. Ducking like and subscribe.